Hello, I'm Brett Knowles from PM Squared Consulting. This YouTube is a quick overview of the rapid scorecard methodology we'll be revealing on how to quickly build pilot scorecards and dashboards in Actuate. This four-part program will cover off how to build your strategy map, how to determine the right key performance indicators, how to translate your strategy into action, and finally how to use this tool to manage your organization better. This is based on over 2,000 or 3,000 scorecards we've built over the last 30 years. Our involvement with the scorecards began over 30 years ago at Harvard during some of the initial research, and since then our scorecards have been profiled in every single book that Drs. Kaplan and Norton have written, as well as most of the other key books around balanced scorecards. So let's quickly review what we're going to be covering in this four-part webinar series. The first webinar is going to talk about how to build your strategy map. We're going to take common frameworks, whether that be Baldrige or in this case the balanced scorecard and 7 pillars, and understand how it is we can describe our strategic objectives and how they link towards creating success. What some people call a cause and effect diagram that explains how our strategy will unfold to contribute to the overall success of the organization. We'll also touch on how to weight or prioritize these objectives to communicate this year's priorities to the organization. The second webinar is then going to take that input and help us figure out how to identify the key performance indicators in your organization around each of those objectives. And of course, the understanding here is that for most organizations, there's an abundance of data. The issue isn't how to find new data to report, but rather how to identify within all the data we have, what are the key ones that indicate whether we're achieving these key strategic objectives or not. And from there, we should be able to identify simple indicators that will work with each one of these objectives and understand how, by enabling this through software, we can make this available to the organization and key stakeholders. The third webinar is going to take the next level of detail. How do we translate our strategy into the processes and projects that we live and work in day to day? To do that, we're going to take that same strategy map and list those objectives down the left side of a grid, and across the top we're going to list off your core processes. By analyzing how well each process supports each strategic objective, we can begin to build out strategy-based dashboards. In this example, if we wanted to build a dashboard around F2, more passengers, we would include indicators around customer service, ground operations, logistics, and ticket sales. So this analysis allows us to build dashboards that allow management to drill from strategic objectives to operational objectives to tactics, and eventually down to tasks. Finally, we have to help management how to use this tool to manage their organizations better. The fourth webinar will take you in a conversation about the 3 levels of management and how these different tools fit into the strategic management practices that all organizations should be using. Included in this, we'll profile how to make the information from your dashboards and scorecards more compelling than the existing spreadsheets and grids which are available, so that these become the go-to source commonly used across the organization to understand the big picture of how we're performing and drilling into the detail. So in summary, we're going to cover off strategy maps and key performance indicators, how those enable dashboards that drill down into the operational detail of the organization, and how to use those to manage the organization better. We hope you'll join us for this 4-part series. If you'd like to learn more about it, either contact us or go to pm2consulting.com Insights section to learn more.